Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. Consider the following statements. He was a social and religious reformer who gave the universal message, one caste, one religion, one God. He lent his support to Vaikam Satyagraha, which was aimed at temple entry in Travancore for the lower castes. He built a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva at Aruvipuram, which was against the caste-based restrictions of the time. The above statements describe Nataraja Guru, Ramaswamy Nayakar, Sahodaran Ayyappan, Sri Narayana Guru. The answer to this is Sri Narayana Guru. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a mention of Narayana Guru. Let us try and understand some of the important factual data with respect to Narayana Guru. He was born to Madan Asan and his wife Kutiyamma in a village near Thiruvananthapuram, and he was named as Narayanan. His family belonged to the Elava caste and was considered Avarna according to the social norms which was present during those period. He was a pioneer reformer who rejected the caste system and stressed the equality of man. He gave the universal message, one caste, one religion and one God. He was educated by his father at a nearby school and he was influenced by the Vedanta. He also taught Sanskrit to the students at a local school with close associate Chantampi Swami. Remember, he built a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva at Aravipuram, which was against the so-called caste system that was prevalent in those periods. He contributed many literary works, the most influential being Atmopadesha Satakam, which was composed in 1897. In 1904, he chose Shivagiri in Varkala to pursue his spiritual deeds. He also founded an Advaita ashram in Kaladi, and Guru built many Hindu temples which were open to people from all castes and religions. He also lent his support to Vaikam Satyagraha, which was aimed at temple entry in Travancore for all the lower castes in the state of Travancore. Mahatma Gandhi had met Guru during this time as well. In fact, we also have Rabindranath Tagore who also met Narayana Guru, and in Tagore's words, I have been touring different parts of the world but have never come across one who is spiritually greater than Sri Narayana Guru. These important facts can be important from the preliminary examination point of view. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following statements about Matangini Hazra are correct? She was arrested for taking part in the civil disobedience movement in 1930 and the Salt March led by Gandhi. She became the president of Indian National Congress in 1932. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is one only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a mention of Matangini Hazra. Let us try and understand what are these options. When it comes to the first option, yes, it is right. She was arrested for taking part in civil disobedience movement in 1930 and the Salt March led by Gandhi. But the second statement is wrong because she never became the president of Indian National Congress. It was not only in 1932, but she never became the president of the Indian National Congress. So if we are speaking about Matangini Hazra, she was born in a village near Hogla near Tumluk. She was a daughter of a poor farmer. The farmer could not take care of his daughter. He could not afford the dowry. So what does he do? He asks his daughter to get married to about 60-year-old man. And after a few years, this man gets passed away, and at the age of 18, what she has is nothing in her hands. She is a widow without any children. It is during this period she wants to engage herself in the social reformation process. During this period, you had the Indian people who were going against the British Empire. The awareness was given by Mahatma Gandhi ji, who traveled extensively across different parts of the country, and during this period is when she realized that there is a great man called as Mahatma Gandhi ji. She started respecting him. She started following his ideals. She also became a devoted follower of the leader, and that is why she also earned a name called as Gandhi Buri. Because she was inspired by the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi ji, she was arrested for taking part in the civil disobedience movement and also the Salt March led by Mahatma Gandhi. She did also take part in the Quit India movement as well, and it is during this procession she also lost her life. Now let's look into the next practice question. Kohima War Cemetery is a memorial dedicated to the soldiers who were killed while fighting insurgency in the Nagaland, people who sacrificed their lives during the conflict between British India and Burma, soldiers of the 2nd British Division of the Allied Forces who died in World War II, troops of British India who died in wars fought between 1914 and 1919. So the Kohima War Cemetery is a memorial dedicated to the soldiers of the 2nd British Division of the Allied Forces who died in World War II. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article here makes a mention of Kohima War Cemetery. So this Kohima War Cemetery is one of the memorial that is dedicated to the soldiers of the 2nd British Division of the Allied Forces who died during the 2nd World War at Kohima, which happens to be the capital of Nagaland. These soldiers were trying to prevent the expansionist policies during that period, and those soldiers who lost their lives, a memorial was created which is called as Kohima War Cemetery. So what is that we have to understand here? We also have to understand what is called as the Battle of Kohima. The Battle of Kohima was fought between British Indian soldiers as well as the Japan forces. In 1944, during the height of the Second World War, the Japanese planned an incursion into India via the Burma. The plan was codenamed Operation Yogo. The plan was to attack the northeast of India through Burma. There was a British garrison at Kohima. The Japanese force wished to attack the garrison and take Kohima, after which they would take Assam and then march to Delhi. But this plan of the Japanese forces did not come good, as the British Indian officers who were placed in Kohima were able to repulse these forces, and ultimately we also had the victory as well. The article here also makes a mention of Chindwin River. As part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section where is this Chindwin River located. Now let's look into the next practice question. As a tsunami leaves the deep water of the open ocean and travels into shallower water near the coast, which of the following events may take place? The tsunami speed diminishes as it travels into the shallower water. It may grow to be several meters or more in height near the coast. The answer to this is both. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to the tsunami. When we speak about this article, there are two important factors. One, it speaks about tsunami, and there is another part that we have to focus, and that happens to be Tonga. So where is Tonga? Tonga is close by to New Zealand. It is part of the Pacific Ocean. So remember, Tonga happens to be one of the countries which is close by to New Zealand, where in the Pacific Ocean. This can be very important from the preliminary examination point of view and also from the map based questions. So remember, Tonga had one of the volcanoes. Because of this volcano, there is extensive tsunami that has been triggered, and this tsunami can also cause harm to multiple other countries as well. So there is a volcano, there is a mountain, there is a volcano that has taken place, and because of the volcano, there is a spike of tsunami waves that has been sent, and this may cause impact to multiple other countries as well. In fact, some have also been hit to Japan as well. Some have also hit regional countries as well, which means tsunami becomes an important topic of discussion. So when we speak about tsunami, the distance between two waves, as we see in the image, is what is called as the wavelength. Because of tsunami's long wavelength, which can be hundreds of miles, a tsunami is barely noticeable when we are in an open ocean. So when it comes to the open ocean, because there is a large of depth that is present, it can hardly be seen in the open oceans. But as as it approaches the shallower water, once it hits closer, what happens? The height of the wave or the height of the tsunami or the height of this wave reaching the shallower parts or the coast, the height increases. So the height of the wave increases. This also means as it approaches closer to the shallower water, the speed also diminishes as well. Why? Because there is a barrier that is present, and as a result, what we see is sudden impulse of water where there is increase of the height of the water, but the speed of the water decreases. So both the statements given in this practice question is right. So the answer to this would be both. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following gives global gender gap index ranking to the countries of the world? World Economic Forum, UN Human Rights Council, UN Women, World Health Organization. The answer to this is World Economic Forum. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2017. So this Global Gender Gap Index is released by the World Economic Forum, which happens to be an annual report. The first publication happened in the year 2006. So this becomes important from the preliminary examination point of view. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion happens to be Aroma Mission. What is this Aroma Mission? As the very name denotes, there are few plants and its flowers whose extraction can be used in the aroma industry. So developing such plants and outsourcing these crops to the industrial bodies so that the industry develops, so that the farmer develops, is one of the main objective of the Aroma Mission. So this is a mission launched by the government of India when back in the year 2016 to boost the cultivation of aromatic crops like lavender, rosemary, lemongrass, keeping in view the flight of the farmers who have been engaged into such activity. So promoting the growth of the aroma based plants is the importance of this particular mission. Under the mission, cultivation of these crops will happen especially in those areas where we have the unproductive lands, marginal wastelands, including those that are affected by water scarcity, drought, salinity, or in fact drought as well. So in such conditions where the farmer is not able to grow, scientific advances will be provided to the farmers so that he is able to grow these aromatic plants. So the purpose is to boost the cultivation, ensure that there is value addition with respect to the aromatic plants so that they can supply these aromatic plants to the industries, thereby these industries can also perform better when it comes to the businesses. So what are the objectives of the Aroma Mission? Development of superior varieties and their agro technologies and assessment of their suitability for specific agroclimatic regions, promotion of cultivation and processing of aromatic crops, enhancing area under selected aromatic crops along with enabling interventions including setting up of distillation units and catalyzing setting up of cooperatives for marketing of their produce, value addition of aromatic crops, skill development activities, intellectual property generation. So if we are able to generate one of the aromatic formulas, the same can also be subscribed for the intellectual property. Then the evaluation and management will take place, entrepreneurship development and its spin-offs, business development, making public aware of mission activities and achievements using appropriate interface. These are the objectives when it comes to the Aroma Mission. So with this particular plan in picture, what are the advantages? So the Aroma Mission is basically the initiative of the government of India basically to bring in interventions in the area of agriculture. So farmers who have been growing all these aromatic crops, they would be provided the much needed impetus. They would be given all the product development management skills so that there is development of the aroma industry and at the same time rural employment also outdoors over a period of time, and overall on the external front as well, India becomes one of the important market of aroma industry. It is not just about importing the aroma related products, but instead with this particular plan, India aspires to become a global leader when it comes to the production, export of some essential oils, on the pattern of menthol mint as well. So this will provide substantial benefits to the farmers in achieving higher profits, and at the same time we are also making effective use of the wastelands as well as protecting their crops so that farmers usage can also be prevented as well. So all in all, what would happen? Farmer profits would increase, and at the same time rural employment opportunities will grow as well. And these, when supplied to the aroma industry, we would have our own home built aroma industries, and we would stand a chance of competing with some of the world renowned aroma industries as well. It is this that we have to understand in reference to the aroma mission. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.